All right, let's get this thing started. Shout out to Toejam and Earl for retweeting the stream. Much appreciated. Let's see what we got here. Hey, it's me. All right, we're going to be remixing Big Earl Bump from the original Toejam and Earl. Plug in my headphones here. And yeah, working on with this, new setup with Reason 10. I'm not as familiar, so it's going to be some growing pains on this stream too. So it should be a fun learning experience for everybody. But let's see what we got here. All right. Now I started it already. I'm just gonna come on here blind, but let's see. I'll just give it a quick little play of where it's at right now. All right, yeah, so that's that's a loop. Wait, this isn't an Anthem stream. Bamboozled once again. Did I have it labeled as an Anthem stream? No. Music production. But yeah, I do want to try Anthem. I did see it was kind of a wreck. I think yesterday I saw somebody just post a quick clip. It was pretty... Needs a little work, but it's a beta. It's better. Yeah. Oh, it's better than an Anthem stream. Okay. Oh man, yeah. Whoever's making Anthem, I forget. Is that EA? Or is that BioWare? I think that is BioWare. They're doing the bamboozling, seems like. But yeah. All right, let's get this back on. All right, so yeah, I did a little bit of work on this already, and I'm not happy with it. Like where it's at right now, for sure. This is kind of just a lot of placeholders. BioWare, as Plague said. Yeah. It's a shame, man. Mass Effect 1 through 3 were just masterpieces, and I'll even be in the minority here and say that I had an all right time with Andromeda. but it wasn't up to par. And when you set the standard that high, it's just it's tough to make games that good game after game and keep topping yourself. People message him in Discord. Okay. Yeah, but that's my thoughts on Mass Effect. And I think with Anthem, they're trying to just go to some other place with it. I don't know if they're trying to go back to the RPG stuff more. I don't know. I haven't read up on it. I just don't really care too much about it. I am excited for Toejam and Earl though, coming out March 1st. I got that jank pre-ordered. I grew up on Toejam and Earl. That's a big thing that made me want to produce music. I made a tweet the other day about it, just saying how one of my first music things that I did as a kid was through Toejam and Earl with the jam out mode. You could just play the drums on there, and it was basically a much simpler version of the stuff we've got now. I'll add in a device right now that is basically the same type stuff. Let me see if that's showing up here. All right, cool. But yeah, it was like a sampler, and you would just you would hit the different drums. But let me pull up a on-screen keyboard actually. But yeah, you would just play along with, and just make beats, and you could have the instrumental playing in the background, or you could just go into jam out mode by yourself and just just have the different drums loaded up, and so you could just do different beats, just back in the day with a Sega Genesis controller, you were like, yo. So that I give that game a lot of credit for instilling music in me and making me want to do music. Shout out. Yeah, it's on Sega Genesis. The original. There's two on the Genesis. Panic on Funkatron was the sequel. And then there's one on Xbox that we don't talk about. And then they have a new one that's coming out on Switch, PS4. I think PC and Xbox maybe later down the road, but I know Switch and PS4 are definitely coming out. I actually just ordered the spaceship figure. Yeah, that's the whole point of the game is you're aliens. You're from planet Funkatron. You're screwing around in the spaceship. You crash, and all of your spaceship parts land in different areas of this world, and it's supposed to be Earth, but you're in space. It's weird. It's not really Earth, but it's kind of just a parody of it. And all the enemies are really funny. There's a boogeyman, and there's a carrot guy, and there's a mailbox. It's crazy. It was in that time in the 90s where they were like, hey, who cares? And they made one of my favorite games. So that's let's see. Creature says PC and Xbox One too. Yeah, dude. I mean, they're from Planet Funkatron, and it literally, if you go on YouTube right now, I'm remixing one of or I'm making a cover from the ground up of it. So it's I'm not sampling the original audio of it, but I mean, listen to this shit. This was on a Sega Genesis game. If you're playing Sega Genesis and that shit's coming on, are you really even wanting to play the game? Or are you just going to want to stop and just jam out? Because I know I did. But I don't know. That's I love Toejam and Earl. And yeah, definitely check it out. It's a game worth checking. You might look at it and be like, huh? What? But just start playing it. You can play it in a fixed mode, which is it's a the predetermined map, and then it also was I don't know if it was the first, but it was one of the first games that did procedurally generated levels, the rogue type. Everybody's coming out now oh yeah, we're Toejam and Earl. You could play a new game every day with that and just hit up the random worlds every time. It becomes DDR at that point, basically. It's really hard to not like groove out to a lot of these tracks. So if you like funk and hip hop and like just that '90s type sound, yeah, just go on YouTube right now and just load up that original soundtrack. I did a remix already of this will be my second one. I did one of the track called Alien Breakdown. If you go on my YouTube, which is let me use this hand over there, and links down below because we're on Twitch right now. Yeah, just go on there and click the little magnifying glass thing, search Toejam or Earl, and I played it in live sets a bunch. And you can hear the track right there. Wait a minute. I'm on Twitch. I can just link it in the chat. Technology, guys. I'm like... I'm blown away by all the possibilities of what I can do on stream now. Alright. Here it is. Boop. And, yeah. Here's a link to that if you want to check that out. Now or later, I don't care. Yeah, it's definitely good times. Definitely check that out. Open Twitch back up here on my phone. Closed out everything like I normally do and just put my phone down. Great. So let's take a look at what we've got going on individually here, because I've kind of just let the whole track play so far. I'm going to minimize some stuff here. Maybe. All right, so first up we have this bass right here. You know, just all right. So nothing super, but just that bass line. And then, so I think over here I've got just like another layer. Just get a little thickness. Take out the other one. Just I do want to throw some EQ on that bad boy. I can hear that being a problem. Alright, I have one of these as a side chain and one of these is the actual. Okay, top one's the side chain. Yeah, it's super thick. A little too thick. Let's see, which one is this on? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a new equalizer here in Reason 10. I haven't really messed with too much, so. Let's see, is it not showing up? I'm looking at my stream right now. It doesn't look like it's actually showing it. Hold on. Let me switch it over to display. Hi. Alright, there we go. I have no clue what's going on screen, but I love it nonetheless. I just turned on my subwoofer to appreciate this properly. Oh yeah, definitely listen to the subs. All right, with subs. All right, cool. Yeah, we're good now. Yeah, because I had a special little setup for this, but now that's all gone out the window. So we'll just capture everything on here. It's a little less organized, but whatever. All right, so we want our EQ on. Look at that peak right there at 80 though. Jesus. That's, you know, it's a little much. We can kind of hear what we want and don't want. Can I mess with the cue? That'd be nice. No. I don't like this EQ. I can't do what I normally do. Alright, let me try something else. Here we go. This is what I use. I usually use. So is that not going to the sidechain anymore? Okay, that's cool. And basically what I'm doing here is just like I'm combing through for different frequencies and trying to see what I want and what I don't want in this bass. So yeah. Yeah, a lot of that a lot of that whistle type stuff you don't really want in it. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Kind of just shelf off this whole high end here. Not so much. A little bit more presence. Because what I know this track is going to do, like I know it's like, oh, that sounds fine by itself. This track's going to get muddy real quick. There's a lot of bass and a lot of stuff, so we're going to try to clean it up. You thought it was heavy, that if I yeah, I'll try not to keep it on the sorry, it says for a split second it was heavy. It was so heavy that it was vibrating my wall paneling. Yeah, that's the I'm sitting here with headphones on right now, so it's not too bad. Normally I got my monitors and stuff going too, so it's I'll try to be considerate of you guys as neighbors. Not peak stuff. Muddy, you just imagine little piggies playing around in sound. It's an interesting image. It is, you know. I mean, that's basically, you just got, it's too many piggies, you know. Like you got, it's all right for like a little mud and a little like, but to have, that's like with the bass frequencies, you want the things to come through clear, and you want your kick to be coming through, and you want everything to kind of sit nicely together. Because if you've just got like a bunch of bass all stacked up together in one frequency, it just, it's kind of like when you hum the same frequency with somebody right next to someone, and it's like that weird thing starts to happen. They just start to kind of resonate, and it gets muddy. So you just kind of carve out room for your friends here, and you kind of go, I'm gonna take this spot, and he goes, I'll be this spot. That's music. That's how music production works. You just gotta mix and mix and mix. But we'll bring back this other, like, yeah, see right there, you can hear how they're kind of like competing for that same range. That's because they're pretty much in the same range. We'll take a look. Yeah, see, this one's sitting at 80 just as well. So this thing's nice to be able to look at, but I have a little more control with this M class equalizer. Alright, so I'll take a look at what we got here, and we'll say, alright, let's actually not boost you at 60. I mean, that is making it thick. Alright, so what we'll do then is we'll cut out at 60 with this guy. And now they're kind of, you know, they're sitting a little better together. It's a piggy race, a subsonic piggy race. That'd be a killer soundtrack name. Subsonic piggy race. Subsonic piggy race by Fingers, coming soon. Alright. Cool, so we might come back to that a little more and fine tune it. Actually, let me just, while we're here. Yeah, so this guy sits around there, and then this guy sits a little lower. Yeah, so and that's the reason why this is definitely getting muddy is because it's a unison part. I have this bass line, you know, in this lane also playing here, and it's not playing 3 times. It's this one is acting as a side chain to kind of duck out of the way of this one. Actually, you can see where's my compressor? Yeah, right here I've got some wires going from the side chain into the output of this. And so what that's doing is going into this equalizer and then out to this other bass. It's it's a lot. So it's making it duck in and out basically. But the other one is triggering it. So when one bass comes in, it makes the other one kind of go away for a sec. Already pre-ordered that. That subsonic piggy raise. And see, this is like an extreme version of that. It's like really making it duck out if I turn up the ratio. But we won't do that. We just want it to kind of, just when it hits, just to kind of duck so it has its own presence. Alright, so let's get off of that. We'll go up here to this next voice, which is pretty much the same part, but it's not doing the bass line the whole time. It's kind of, it's playing it in unison, but then it does some other stuff out here. Barry White Hansen in the building. What's going on, man? How you doing? Check this out. Hi, Ren. Oh, you know what it is, Barry White. Yeah, I got it on that ride cymbal too. All right, cool. Yeah, I saw somebody wanted the original in the chat, so I'm gonna link that so you can just hear what they were dealing with back in the '90s. It was still just filthy. Like the fact that they were putting this in a video game back then. I mean, definitely check that out if you haven't already. If you don't know the OG version of this, you need to. You really do. All right, so what I want to work on. All right, yeah, well, we didn't really start to work on this next. Let's EQ that bad boy. Okay. So it's got a lot, like, it's everywhere. So I guess, yeah, we'll just have to start, Genesis luckily had a pretty good bass, all things considered. Oh, the Genesis sound card. I'm not that big into chip stuff, so I'm not gonna be like, the Yamaha, blah, 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 blah. I can't, like, I don't know. That sound card was dope, and I do have some plugins with that, but I try not to use like the exact chip sounds because I don't know. That's not my thing. Let chip people do chip. I don't claim to be chip, so yeah, but that sound chip that they had in that thing was whew. Talk about muddy and talk about farty bass. Ugh. So good. Alright. Let's get this guy reined in. Alright, so we don't want him acting as a bass though, because we already have too much bass going on. Horrible with samples, but the minis were sweet. Let chip people do chip. I'm not going to be chip. Maker sponsored by Lace. Hey, I mean, I'm not, I got a lot of respect for people to do chip, because I remember being like, I want to do chip tune at one point, and I was like, I loaded up Fami Tracker, and then I was like, and then it was like, how to learn hexadecimal, and I was like, nah, I don't really want to do that. I just kind of want to. I normally have this all hooked up and play the keys and do it that way. Dealing with pre-existing music's a little different, but just listen to the same tunes on SNES and Genesis, and some of the songs just sound so much better. Earthworm Jim is a good one to contrast compare one. Yeah, definitely. I think they did different things very well. Like I think the strings and the more orchestral stuff sounded pretty good on SNES, but like the more funky, Comic Zone and all those were like type basses and stuff. That was a better. It comes down to taste and preference, really. But if you're talking about like capabilities, I don't know, because I think the Super Nintendo had more like sample channels and stuff. Earthworm Jim was a great game. It was. Barry White says chiptune is so tedious to do. Yeah, that's like, I'm not the most I'm not the biggest person when it comes to like music theory, and so when it comes to like, hey, I have to plug in all this stuff and kind of, I'm sure you could get there by experimenting and plugging stuff in, but I'm more of just like a sit down and play it out and kind of play by ear, and so I for me that didn't really work. I kind of just always wanted something that I can just have a digital thing that I could plug into, and then just play my stuff and pick my voices that I want and mix it. Because I used to have, I'm not sure if this shows up on camera or not, my first keyboard is down here. It was this little Casio sampler guy. I'll get him out. We're doing a stream, why not? It's dusty. Can I get it out without making a catastrophe happen? Oh, wow. We're about to see some history. Here we go. Alright. This bad boy was my first keyboard, and I got it when I was like 6 or 7. Are the batteries dead? Oh, I left it on. Somehow the on switch got... I'm going to do a stream one day when I just make beats on this thing. That'd be dope. But yeah, this was my first little keyboard, and then I got this Casio as well behind me. And while I did figure out that had MIDI capability and all that stuff later on, when I was, I just didn't know about music production software. And we didn't have a lot of money, so it wasn't super available. But I used to track stuff on there, and you could actually sequence about like, I think 6 or 8 tracks on there. And so what I would do is just like play a piano part and like try to play it as good as I could. And then I would like go back and add a bass line on there, and like you just had to like play it good. You just had to do takes like you were recording on tape. So yeah, that thing was fun. Another great tune to compare, Maximum Carnage. Oh yeah, Maximum Carnage was hard as shit. I beat that game, I remember, by using like save states and like a code like an infinite lives code, and I don't know how people did it otherwise. I'm sure there's people that have speed runs of it and stuff, but I just remember that like Especially Carnage. That final boss was so hard. I didn't like it. Yeah, it was definitely like one of those arcade games that, I mean, I know it was for Super and Genesis, but it was like built like one of those arcade games that was just designed to eat all of your money. So, but I did beat it. I stuck with it by cheating. This one's tricky because I don't really know how I want to EQ it. You beat Maximum Carnage once? Dude, respect. Respect right there. I don't know. I don't know how you did it. Yeah, this one's kind of tricky. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna want in this one. I know I took out all that bass from it, so. This one's so gnarly. Like, yeah, it's got a lot. That's cool. You can see on the spectrum, like, that's like the after of what I'm doing here. So that's actually cool. I like that a lot better. I have the control here, but I can see what I'm doing. Sorry, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I just started using Reason 10. So, fun fact, Genesis and SNES games had mandates where the designers were cautioned not to make it easy enough to beat on a rental. Remember those? Dude, I used to go to Blockbuster every Friday night and get a game, return it. Like, you know, that's what I did. When I was like 2, 3 years old, my older brother had a Nintendo and a Genesis when I was, you know, that came out, what, in like 90, like the 90s? Yeah, no. I remember I was 2 years old when that came out. Yep. And we got it a little bit later, but we got Sega Genesis with Sonic and Alter Beast on it. We had those two games. And, yeah. Good stuff. But yeah, you're right. That they did crank. I mean, that's the old, you know, games were like Nintendo hard. Yeah, games were not. It's funny. I'm wearing a classically trained shirt, with a Nintendo controller on it. But yeah, I mean, I definitely like grew up. My entire existence was video games. So here I am, 32 years later, just making remixes of it and stuff. Let me see if I have anything else going on in 250. I do, I think. Yeah, 226. All right, we'll sweep clear that then. I still suck at a lot of early Nintendo stuff as an adult. Yeah, it's tough going back to it. Like, it was easier when I was a kid because we've learned all the new controls and you have to like unlearn it, and it's not as intuitive. Like going back and playing Metal Gear Solid 1 is definitely tricky nowadays. But it kind of like comes back to you. It's like riding a bike. I don't know. Yeah, Nintendo NES games, like, they did not mess around. And a lot of it was just bad game design. Like, you know, it's just like, oh, like Ninja Turtles. But all right, let's bring back these other voices. driver shaft. It's not tricky if you're the ultimate gamer like me. Yeah. Can you beat Ninja Turtles on Nintendo? The first one? Oh no. That underwater level with the mines and stuff. Oh, Turtles in Time, we can go all day. That game was a fun, balanced game that didn't disrespect you. But the first game was, yeah, with save state. Okay, yeah. Save states were like the ultimate equalizer. Yeah, I remember when I first found that out on emulators. I was like, yeah, this changes everything. First ROM was Pokemon on Game Boy back in the day. All right. Pokemon Blue. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you haven't already, hit that follow button for me real quick. I'm trying to do the whole Twitch affiliate thing first. Partner comes later, but you know, I got all this streaming stuff, and I've been accruing money and goods to start doing this more. So if you can help me out with that follow, I really appreciate you. I don't have anything that tells me that people are following me. Oh, okay. I have emails that tell me that. That'll help. Crimson Gargoyle, appreciate the follow. Creature SH, appreciate the follow. I think I saw someone else follow too at the very beginning. What was it? That email got buried. Rin Soma, I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's get back to it. All right, so that's already sitting a lot better in my ears right there. Let's just let the rest of everything play. Second monitor with Streamlabs RBS. Second notification. Yeah, Barry White, I'm gonna have to talk to you about some streaming stuff. I don't know shit when it comes to any of that, like overlay type stuff or like the active stuff that's popping up. I just haven't really looked into it, but I'll hit you up later about that. I appreciate it. I had the media up on my phone. All right. Alright, so let's see what we have up here next. Smash Ultimate. Everyone is following! Alright, so up next we have this guy. I'll set a loop marker because this part is not playing the whole song. Alright, so that's what's going on with that. We'll start up a loop with it. Just cut out all that low end because you don't need it. And to make this less tedious, we'll just have it loop. That'd be a killer way to end the song, just that instrument. I think it needs more heavy bass, like a... Damn it, Driver Shaft. Let's see. Like Big Earl. Let's see. That would be... Alright, yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of a cool little way to just like flare it out. Just have a little... The last little part. That little... Let's see how it does. Where does it? How it ends? Yeah, it ends on like a phrase where it just has like a couple things playing. Yeah. Every Toejam and Earl song has a not a drum and bass, but a bass and drums breakdown where they just like they strip away all the other things and they're just like let the bass channel play and let the drums channel play, and it's like the ultimate breakdown in every song. So, but I don't know. Let's see if we can maybe throw it in there. We'll see. We'll see what's going on in that part usually, and then what happens during the... You just got to look at it structurally and see where it'll fit. That's what she said? Oof. Alright. Let's see. Sorry. When it gets set out in front of me like that, I like have to go for it or I feel bad. Alright, I'm trying to like look at this. Alright, so it starts with a block of here and a block there. So that's every... I'm trying to do math right now. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like showing up in different places now that I'm used to it. I'm like looking for the numbers. I'm like, where are you? All right, 289, 93. All right, cool. That's a part you didn't think that was gonna happen. Well, all right, let's see how it ends. Wait. Well. Come in with that. We'll just copy it and slam it over here. Why is my end marker? Okay, there it is. We make the song longer. Alright, that's your idea. Putting it right there at the end, by itself. Dude, this thing's actually pretty sweet, Driver Shaft, if you're like a guitar person, but I'm not. I did see, did you actually get a, you got some kind of MIDI controller, didn't you? Yeah, if I got this song on it. I mean, doesn't sound horrible. Well, I'll probably go back and like adjust how that happens, but I see what you're saying. Like I know that voice is really dope. Kind of sucks that I left that ridiculous EQ on it though. Hey, you don't want that. See? You hear that? Wait, your dogs are going crazy if you have them. Alright. Yeah, that's just something you want to kind of get out of those kind of sounds. Especially on like a large system, if you're playing it out. It's like, people are like, what is that? I have a headache. Yeah, I own both of those and an iPad piano and an iPad stomp box and a PS2 keyboard mania controller, PS2 Beat Mania controller, PS2 Rock Band drum set retooled into a MIDI controller. Got a lot of video game gear. Didn't you actually, you said, like, you just made a post I saw. It was about some, it was like the Akai Mini that you got. Piggies and dogs are slowly building a zoo. Nice. Alright, let's get, we have this voice going. Alright, that sounded pretty good, I think, at the end of that. Yeah, you got it for $30? Nice. Hey, if all the buttons work and aren't sticky, like, that's a good, you know, that's a good deal. That's like, I'm not trying to be like gross or funny. Like, that's a, you know, sometimes the drum pads just get like unresponsive. If somebody spills a beer on it or something, or just water, it can wreak havoc on all kinds of stuff in there. My buddy's machine stopped working, actually. Somebody spilled a little beer on it. And just all the pads are just unresponsive. But yeah, if you got it for cheap, use $30 and it still works, you can do a lot of stuff with that. God damn it, charge. Alright. Let's see. What we got here? Oh. Got a little RP part going on. Let's see. That's a weird part. I don't know what that's. Okay, makes sense in that context. All right, it's the fill. Oh no, something just happened. My computer just like completely derped out, was like, hey, too much. So let's see. Let's see, what all is going? Is there anything kind of special happening? Not really. We can close that out, I guess. There's probably just a lot of EQ visual stuff going on right now. Poor laptop. Need a new PC. Alright, 320. I just got a little, it's kind of weird. Let me switch this up a little. You know what I just did for the first time since I started streaming? I think save my progress. That's it's not good. I probably should have saved a long time ago. The music is totally influencing your Warframe fashion building. Ain't even mad. Hey, if you come out with a funkier Warframe, you know, saving is for losers. Only real men export in one session. Good golly. Sorry, just seeing if I had any of those other Spectrum things open. Alright. Captain America PSA about saving. got the meme in my head, man. Just perfect. Yep. So, you did music production for 3 hours without saving. Well, you fucked up. Alright, let's see. Let's go back to this. Piano, why are you always everywhere? Yeah, that's basically like, shout out to DJ Cutman for teaching me this a long time ago. Basically, unless it's a bass, a sub, or a kick, or something you want in that bass frequency, just about always do a low shelf cut, or just like cut out below 80, just to get it out of there. Like, you're not gonna 80 hertz. I mean, but you know, you're not gonna. Most of the time, you're not gonna need it, and if it is showing up in the spectrum, like we can see it here. Like, you see all that? You see all that? You're not really hearing any of that. If you are feeling it, like you've got this turned up so much that it's like, all right, let's, for example, listen to this with a lot of bass. All you're getting on it is that, you know, the sub frequency of that one bottom note, but otherwise it's sending all that information to your compressors and everything else that's trying to just like balance it out. So you don't need it. So you kind of want to cut out all the frequencies that are unneeded. And it's something that you know, it's like, duh, that makes sense. But a lot of times, you know, if you leave stuff in there, you get a muddy track. So you decided to save like a bitch. Now you won't be as cool as the other geniuses who do it one go. I'm telling you, man. It's the way to do it. I whenever I'm collabing with my buddy, I always have to tell him, I just call it out. I go, save, and he's like, oh my god, thank you, dude. We've been chilling for like 4 hours and I haven't saved yet. All right. So let's see. All right, yeah, this piano is pretty. That's another good thing to do. Just A/B your stuff. Like, just hear it with and then hear it without. It's like, okay. Now, that might sound kind of like tinny and you know, kind of naked by itself, but with everything else around it, and then normally when you do EQ, you're going to have to go back to the mixer too and turn stuff back up or turn it down. Because like you've lost your presence in a whole frequency band, so you're going to want to, you know, balance it out. Yeah, see, like, now all of a sudden that synth is like, oh god, way too loud. We'll EQ it first. Okay. Alright, let me switch this back to the Toejam cam. I like that. Let's see. Alright, what do we want to do next on this? Because, alright, so right there, you know, you've basically got the EQ on everything. I haven't EQ'd the drums yet. I could do that. I'm just gonna... What I need to do, too, is separate the drums out into different tracks so they're not grouped together, so I can EQ the kick by itself and EQ the claps and the snares, because they're all going to be different. And if you just EQ a whole bus of drums together and just like boost the bass, like your clap's gonna sound like real chunky, so you don't necessarily want that. Let's see. I just logged on to Twitter and saw Crimson Gargoyle with the with the Captain America version of what I said. That's great. That's perfect. Alright. Oh no, we lost some viewers. Oh well, it's fine. I'm having fun. And someone told me too, they were like, I want to subscribe to your YouTube channel, but you've been double fisting stream uploads in there, and I'm like, what do you want, man? Like, I want to subscribe for your music, but I don't want to see the process or any of the extra fun stuff with it. I'm like, sorry. But I get it. I know when you're like, get a notification, it's like, oh, I want this to be a song. And it's like, vlog when I went to the ice cream store today. You don't want to see that shit. Just make an archive channel. Yeah, make an archive channel starting from like 0 in 2019 does not sound like a good time. Like, I mean, this is all good content that I could put on YouTube. Like, I don't see this as like anything that I would do outside of what I would do in like a regular video. Like, this is me producing music and it's a video game. Like, this doesn't not belong on my channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, I don't know. It's a weird thing for me. Like, you know, and I get it. They're just saying like they want to click on a channel and just see the remixes. But like, my channel hasn't been that either for a long time. So, you know, it's, does it bother you that you're spending hours on this piece of music and I can then take this song and cover it with the fart noises in 15 minutes to have people view it? No, that doesn't bother me because, you know, you need both. You need the fart version and, you know, that the internet needs that. And so to say that, you know, does it bother me? No, because memes and bullshit get views for sure. But you also gotta come with the stuff that's actually good and, you know, give them good stuff. So, all right, we'll switch it back over here. Actually, hold on one sec. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Chill. All right. Clearly the money is only in the fart versions, right? Yeah. That's where the money's at. Money is where the memes are. All right, let's get back to it. I'm like dreading EQing these drums because I just have to make a bunch of different tracks for them. Alright, let's see. We'll go to display and cam. Whee. Alright. Time to outsmart everyone and make your own meme version. Fart in Windows 95 MIDI version. Yeah, that's also known as the muddy version. I missed that comment. That's good. You get that extra mud in there. I think I just got some like basic drums on here right now, but I liked them, so I kept them. These can come down. That's a general tip for making music. Hi-hats can always come down, just about, because they poke through everything. I remember learning that when I was a kid too, like just being in the, we used to drive for 3 hours and I would go with my dad to the shore and he would have just the radio on like kind of quiet. But I remember like the one thing that I could hear and the background was like just the hi-hats. It was just like the cymbals going just like. I remember trying to sleep on the drive, and just that was like the one thing in my ear was hi-hats. I was like, damn it, cymbals cutting through, making it hard to sleep. All right, but yeah, most of the time hi-hats can be turned back. They're gonna come through like. So yeah, just that's like why you can hear a whispering person. It's the same concept. So, just that's 5K. Yeah, 5K frequencies. Like I can boost it to show you. It's. Let's duplicate this out. Alright, so here comes. Alright, so this is how you do that. You duplicate it. This is how you kind of like split it up a little bit. Duplicate it, then you go into your MIDI lane and figure out what's what. So you got right here, you got your kick, got your snare, and we got claps up here. Or just another snare. Your claps are over here, yeah. Alright, so that's 4 of them that we'll have to do. So we'll go ahead and make 4 versions of these. Duplicate. And duplicate. Cool. And then we'll basically just go through each lane and say, alright, this is all of them except for the top one, which is this snare. So what we can do, this is a long track, so it can't exactly. We'll just select all of them and scroll over here and delete. Just keep this track here solid. And so now all it is just that snare by itself. Let's see. You said I find this part of music producing super interesting. How it can fuck with people. Oh, the like just the tedious part when you're like, man, I gotta do this. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I guess it is because everyone is gonna do it in a different way. Like, there's no right way to do it necessarily, and it's there's quicker ways to do it, I'm sure, but this is what I'm doing right now in Reason 10. Like I said, I'm used to producing, like, all of my stuff was on Reason 5. And then I got Reason 7 a few years back, and just I didn't really care for it as much. And then I got Reason 10, and I was like, this is way more different than what I'm used to. So but I'm trying to use it more, and just I wanted to do this stream and just have it going the whole time. So it's a learning process for sure. But luckily Reason hasn't changed too much in its. I mean, it has. It's upgraded and done a lot, but the basic layout of the sequencer and stuff is the same. So, if I just want to copy over some stuff, I know how to do all that. I know how to get around. And that's a lot of people will ask me, like, what my favorite DAW is, and what it's definitely Reason, just because of how familiar I am with it. It's not necessarily like, well, people will say, oh, this one can do that and this one can do that. I don't care. Like, it's not what I'm familiar with. So all right, so now let's get these other drums out here. Now we can, another quick thing you can do in Reason is just right click and hit select notes of same pitch, and it'll just do that whole line. I kind of just wanted to grab all those out at the same time. All right, so we have, this is the clap, I believe. Yeah, cool. And we'll name, that's another good thing to do. Oh, it's not the sound ray. That's definitely not what it is. It's the snare. The clap is right here. All right, yeah, label your stuff. It's kind of weird too. Like Reason 10 just like automatically labeled a lot of this stuff. I was like, oh, okay, neat. So let's see. This next one will be both of these. What's this guy? We'll call that the rim shot. Get that one all the way here. Okay, cool. And then we got our kick. And the cymbals are mostly, well, all right. It does have a ride, so we'll switch that out. That's what we'll do. Yeah, because the ride is going to be a different frequency. Would you say the snare caught you off guard? Damn it. It did. Alright, let's see. Which one do we want to keep in the top one? We'll keep the hats in the top one. We'll delete all the ride shit. Right. And then, wait. Alright, so this is a ride. Alt tab for a sec, heard that knew it was a crimson gargoyle. It's punny. I appreciate puns. Ready to listen to a ride cymbal for a little bit? I'll try to make it quick. And there is a whistle in that. You hear that? Ooh. Might find a different ride. I don't like that. Go to the classic. Let's see. Let me just see. This is one instrument that I'm not like used to yet. I'm like, what is that? So we'll make this a Kong. Can I just turn it into a Kong? Oh boy. Yeah, that's better than. Yeah. Cool. Just drag that down here and just delete this whole thing. Wait, okay, that's what that button is. All right. All right, cool. So we have the ride part there. One sec, guys. Getting a phone call. Alright. Sorry about that. Let's see how many people left. Alright. Whew. Everybody still with me? I got a couple people in here. Alright, we can get back to... Yeah, sorry. I wouldn't normally take a phone call during a stream, but my girlfriend's in the hospital right now, so yeah. And it looks like my stream health is dipping in and out, so if it cuts out, my Wi-Fi does act kind of weird, so if it cuts out on me, that's Verizon's fault. We have a new router on the way, but yeah. Symbol only album or symbol. Ah, that was symbawful. All right, here we go. I can go pun for pun. All right, so you'll go to display cam. Boop. Just minimize. Okay. Symbol time. All right, so it can come up probably a little bit. Oh yeah, velocity's real weak on this guy. That does have some air in it that I don't like. Some low end. Yeah, I appreciate that, Crimson. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my my mind off of that and just, you know, make music and stuff. So That's another. All right, so that's an important thing that I just did. With noises that or not noises, just instruments that tend to wash over into the next one. Especially this applies a lot to 808 kicks. You know, you've got the drum hitting and it's just doom, and it like goes, and it just goes. If you have another one of those happen during the middle of that long like sustained and another one hits, that's when like you get ultimate mud. You get and it starts like warbling your subwoofer. It's really weird. But yeah, it's what you want to do to fix it. Just talk about the problem and oh yep, that's a thing that exists. What you want to do normally in some form or another, you'll have this right here where it talks about your sampler and like the hit mode or the type of hit. And so we have full, we have exclusive hits, and then monophonic. So what monophonic is just like as soon as another one starts, the previous one that was going gets muted, and like not gets muted, but just stops. Like it stops the whole audio clip from playing anymore, and it just like restarts it over. So you know, if you hit it a bunch of times in a row, you're not going to get all that the reverb and the wash of the cymbal happening. Like that's a pretty long sample, so but I can, you know, you're not going to hear where versus on full mode it's. So that actually on the ride it's kind of helping it a little bit because that's kind of how a ride doesn't just naturally stop. But I think what it's doing this straight pattern, it'll be fine on monophonic. But definitely do that shit on 808s. Oh, music physics with fingers. Amazon audiobook coming out soon. Hey, that's the thing. Like I'm trying to educate a little bit. You know, like if you stick around, you know you can learn something. I'm still learning stuff. You know, all the time. So it's a journey for me. And you know, sometimes I might learn stuff on stream. Like just like oh that's how that works. Especially with using the Reason 10. Like it's I'm figuring out things here with how the new updates are. So. All right, let's check that out all together. I guess I can just like crank the velocity and see how that affects it. See if we get some harder hits coming out of it. Yeah. You barely know anything about music and you are actually learning from this. Hey, well, that's great. That makes me happy. Let's see. All right, so yeah, we're just gonna. All right, I'm gonna go into a hi-hat section now. God, that drum beat. Just filling with that big, thick knowledge. Oh, internet. What do you mean, sour, please? I don't mean source, but like source of what? I think that's what that means. Alright, Alright, let's look at that here. All right, so here's the thing when it comes to kicks. Yeah, I did ask what that was, because Like I'm pretty I'm confirming my knowledge of it. I'm pretty sure it means like source, but I don't know. Like source please. I don't know. I might be a little bit of a faux pas to not know what that is, but it's a gif of a man dancing comes with better Twitch TV. Oh. Okay. Well, I was wrong then. See this? This is why you ask. Is that like when you have like Prime? Is that what that is? All right, so this is what I was going to say concerning the kick. Kicks normally have... Okay, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about now. All right, that's what that is. I think I saw that like in the cluster of a bunch of people asking for a source one time, so I see how I confused myself, but yep. All right, cool. Browser extension BTT. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really don't watch too much streaming and stuff, so when it comes to like the Twitch chat, you know, memes and stuff, I'm just like, I don't know, Kappa, I guess. Actually, in my Discord, I have a link to my Discord down below, but we have... The Fingers version of Kappa is Fappa, and it's just somebody like got the perfect little clip of me during one of my streams where I'm just like, and it's great. So maybe if I get the affiliate thing or whatever on here, I can put that in here one day. But for right now, it's in my Discord. Lies, I bet you binge Pat all the time. I did watch him stream Resident Evil a little bit last night, but that's like... I'm not in that generation that really likes to watch other people play video games. Like, I don't know. I like to play video games, but watching someone else, I'm like, I want to play. So just, I don't know. Just not too much into watching streams. Nothing against it. Like, it's just, you know, that's just not what I'm more like, I want to be hands-on doing the thing. So it's fun to check out a game, you know, and especially if the personality's good. Like, yeah, Pat's hilarious. So, and shout out to Pat for using my new song Boot Loop on his Twitch streams. It's really cool of him to use my stuff. So, but yeah, that's, you know, if you're watching somebody with a good personality and you're like checking out a game that you might not buy, or like you just want to check out to see what it's about, I totally get it. But I just don't really tune into streams as much. Yeah, nothing against it. I appreciate everybody that's in here though. So, thank you for sticking around. All right, let's get back to this kick. All right, so I'm going to get to this point about kicks. The thing about kicks is for me, there's 2, if not 3 kind of variables you want to go after with it. You want to, and I'll just make this in like layman's terms, like you want the oomph, and that's like the lower like sub range, like around like 60 and 70. It's like where you're getting your sub action out of it. Then you want your knock. And for some reason, that lives around like 100 hertz, 120 hertz, like between that range. Like you get your knock, and you got to find it. And we'll do that here. And then like your beater presence, which is like, you know, just like the hit of the actual drum happening. And that's normally around like 5K. But yeah, you know, it's something that's with each drum, it's going to be different because drums are tuned to different notes and different frequencies. So it's going to be something that's not the same every time, but normally around like 60, 70 range, 100 to 120 range, and then like 5K somewhere. Just search around there. So let's do that. All right, so there we go. We're not honed in on it yet, but you can immediately hear the oomph. I'll turn it on and off. Just, you know, just with that small little, you know, adjustment, you're getting more oomph out of that kick. But as you can see, you can very easily start making redlining and being too much. So you just, you know, you want to be subtle with all this stuff. And 63 hertz is what we're at right now. That might not be the one. We didn't even really come around. We just went, ooh, there's the oop. So if we really want to get to it, we can. The Q is like the width of the bands that you're adjusting. So I like to get it real narrow and find it. Find that oomph. And if you're down in the 40s and the 50s, you're probably too low. I don't know. Like you're getting a lot of other tones with that too. And see, yeah, when you get in between the oomph and the knock, you get this weird like warm sound that's just like boom, boom. And you don't want to be hitting that. That's not where you want to be. So then, yeah, definitely widen that Q back out. So you don't typically want to boost narrow. The old rule is I think. Let me think before I talk. It's boost wide, cut narrow. Yeah, that's it. So like when you're boosting an area, you kind of want to be a little more wide with it, and when you're cutting, you don't want to cut out like a whole bunch. You kind of want to cut, a little more narrow. Unless you want that, unless you really want that whole range out of there. So. Sorry, my mouse is not agreeing with me right now. So yeah, that's kind of where the knock is living. It's actually kind of lower than a lot of times normally when I said between 100 and 120. Don't take that literally. It's just that's a guideline of like where to start. So it sounds like it's actually a little lower, around like 90, 95. So we'll look at that now. Yeah, and you can basically see right there. That's where that's living. Got that duck kick. Yep. All right. All right, and then we'll add another EQ on here because we've run out of individual parameters. We can just do high shelf and low shelf from there. Alright, so it's not five. This is a special kick. It's got a lot going on. It's like an acoustic. It's like an acoustic type kick. So you're getting a lot of the beater sound and the air sound already. So you might not really need the presence on this one. It's got a lot of presence already. Yeah, that does. We could probably even maybe take some of that out. It's got that weird like after sounds, like shh, shh, so I don't like it. And I don't know how to edit the specific drums in this part. But I like the kick. So yeah, this is a new device that they have here. I don't know what this ID8 stuff is. I could probably just add in a Kong and do it better that way. All right, what we'll do is we'll abandon that for now. Throw a Kong on here, and we'll add another kick just to do it. Let's see if like one of our like our trap type kicks that we. Let's see if we. It would be cool to like, yeah. That's what I might do. I might use this as like an alternate kick at one point. That's not what I hit at all. What happened? Did it not select? Right. Cool. All right, so on-screen keyboard. Yeah, I don't have my MIDI keyboard hooked up right now. I'm doing this all through the laptop, so. See, this will probably be a better version of what I was talking about with the frequencies. Like 70. Ooh, that's that oomph. Off. On. Oof. That's, yeah, if it makes you go, oof. Got that oof factor, so. We'll get the knock here around. Four. And like the knock is like it'll make your walls kind of knock, like you'll know when you hit it. Yeah, 104. Slowly going into that FBI open up door knock territory. Open up. Yeah, we could probably we can get that real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. It's like that muffled underwater like. Open up. That's when you're down, or no, you're upstairs and the FBI is knocking downstairs. Somebody clip that, please. That's great. All right. We don't want that though in the track. No, we don't. Right. So let's see how our kick is holding up now. All right. So it also helps to put the MIDI data that we have on our kick on this other kick that we just made. What's happening? Why isn't it playing? Oh, because it's on the wrong note. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Where you at, though? What's happening? Oh, you're all the way down at B0. That's why. There it is. Okay. Had to move notes around. Sometimes you're like, why is it things? It's because they're in the wrong note, and your other device has stuff up in the other octaves, and it's like this one only operates in 2 octaves. It's like this one does all of the octaves. So, let's see. Yeah, so that'll be cool to have the 2 drums, the 2 kicks, like, alternate. And then just be like... Yeah, cool. I'm glad that we did all that. Appreciate that clip. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you can tweet that at me or whatever. Let's see. All right, let me think. Yeah, there's a lot of music production time where you're just there going, all right, let's see. So, all right, yeah, what we won't want happening is those kicks happening at the same time. So we'll label it kick 1, kick 2, so we don't confuse ourselves. Yeah, in any creative medium. Yeah, that's very true. That's not exclusive to music production for sure. All right, let's get back in here. All right, that'll come later when I decide when to drop out the specific kicks. All right, I'll go ahead and mute that. All right, I'll do all right, unsolo everything and mute the second kick. Ugh. I'm sitting here like expecting the song to go on. Guess what? I got it on loop. We'll turn that off now by hitting the L key. All right. It's like, why isn't it going into the next section? Because you got it stuck in a loop. Fingers. Get it together. This might be a good time to sub out the other. Let's hear it. Wait, no. Mute that kick. Unmute that one. Yeah, you get that. Save. That was the second time I've saved during this stream. Jesus. That ride sounds so much better than the other one I had in at first. Yeah, like a lot of these things have just been like placeholders, and I just feel like, all right, I'll go back and make those better. All right, cool. I think I got it figured out. So just, yeah, any of these sections that happen, and then we can switch it up. We'll you know, you got to fake people out too. My buddy Steve, Santa Kill Magic. I think it was his dad that told us the quote. He was like, "Good music is 50% expected, 50% unexpected." So, just a nice little thing to think about. It's like you want certain things to be satisfying in the land, but then when you're like taking them apart, it's like, wow, okay. This shouldn't be too jarring or anything. It's not gonna make people trip up. It's just nice to have a little variety. Sort of a song that's this long and has a lot of the same parts, and, you know. All right, so we make a little nice little loop section here so we can see what we're doing, not get confused. And I like to use this razor tool and just we'll cut out the top kick here. Then we can select it. Got a nice little split there. And pop it out. And then, yeah, I guess it's smart to just take it to this other one too. And then just delete what lies outside of it. Not on the right side though, because that'll delete what we're not ready for yet. Yeah, that is a good quote. I agree. That's a man. It's got some good quotes on him. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's one thing that gets a little tricky when you have the project spread out. The lines get a little hard to follow down. So I just throw the loop markers in there as a guide. All right. I should zoom in. That would help me. Sitting here like, ah. All right. Well, how many more times does that happen? Okay. Maybe every other one we can switch it up. Hear how it sounds first. Appreciate the follow. That's another thing that I do a lot when I do music production. I'm like, all right, cool, let's rewind back and hear how this thing sounds when it happens. And here we are, a couple measures after the event, and I just realized it, so. Yeah, that's nice. That transitions really well, actually. I like that a lot. I was like, wait, yeah, we don't want to do that. All right, so let's hear it on the. All right, yeah, and then we'll switch it up on the second go around. We'll have the other kick doing the main work. Oh, didn't zoom in. Am I going to compose my own alert sounds? What a great idea. Could stream composing those like people stream making emotes. I could. Yeah, I mean, that's... I hadn't thought about that. But yeah, that would just be another stream just like this of me just like figuring out something. I'd probably want to do it with my keyboard, have more control. Yeah, that's a neat idea though. Yeah, I definitely want to get the Twitch more interactive and have more things popping up and stuff. I've got it pretty basic right here. I've made the little special overlay. You know, this guy. Yeah. But it's you know, it's something. I just got my Elgato like probably. Which it's funny, like I'm not using the Elgato for this. This is all just streaming on my laptop. But when I use the Elgato, I can stream on my other PC that I have a lot of my other stuff on too. So it's a little different. Is that an MGS5 wallpaper? You mean do I have They Played Us Like a Damn Fiddle as my wallpaper? Yeah, I definitely do. Let me see if I can display. Let's see if we'll... Computer too slow to play song. Yeah, when I'm looking at the OBS, it's like no. Let's see if we can peel away a little bit. There you go. Yep. I definitely rocked the Represent the Fiddle, so let's see. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see. We might finish. I don't know. I probably won't finish this on stream. I'll probably like master it and stuff off stream because that's just a lot of listening to stuff over and over and over and over and over and just then like rendering it out and then listening to it and then comparing it to the other version and going, wait, does that sound better or worse? So. But yeah, this is like the fun part of it, getting to see this side of it. So, all right, let's get back to this main view here. Good eye on the Metal Gear wallpaper. massive foreshadowing to Fingers Playing Looks Like a Damn Fiddle one day. I mean, which came first, the wallpaper or the remix? That's for you to decide. Well, damn it, got the laptop way later, so the wallpaper could not have existed on a laptop I hadn't bought yet. All right. Alright, let's see. What am I focusing on right now? Drums. Okay. I think what I just did was I razored something a measure too short. Alright, so we have... Congratulations, I played myself like a damn fiddle. All the time. Let's see. TDS stuff. Yeah, see, like, if I was doing... if I was doing this in, like, chiptune software, I'd be like... like, I wouldn't know anything. And, like... You learn as you go, sure, but like just this is sometimes, you know, is enough frustration. So respect to all the guys that took the time to figure that stuff out, because I ain't about it. Let's see. Alright, so we want it to go to the kick 2 on the second part. And then on the dropout, we'll have second kick. And then we'll come back the last time for the... What the... Cool. And then also, I think this kick... Damn it. I wish I knew this drum thing better. You can feel your cymbal every night, even in your fingers. All right. Let's see. Got a taste of your own medicine there with the puns back at you. Yeah. And now I respect it even more. Yeah, they're fun. Alright. Kicks are sounding pretty good, I think. What do you guys think? Let's see. What else we have here? The rim shot. Something that definitely is probably going to need some love. Yeah. Sorry. Snares are weird to EQ. Let's see what people said. I feel like you could play with some high notes of something in those green only parts, but not all of them. Let's see what you're referring to. All right, there's a few different greens here. We've got these things here. All right, snare is what we're working on. The bass long greens, so like the middle. All right, so all these are all drum parts. This top green stuff is that, you know, the melody I just played back, and then this dark green is the hi-hat and ride. I have them labeled. I don't know if you can see the labels. All right, what am I doing? And snare, you want a little bit of that low end for presence. You want a little bit of the high. Actually, that adds a nice little plat. All right, so where you got only melody and drums and no saxophone. Oh, okay, so like during this little break part. But that's the breakdown. Oh man, this track needs mixing. I can hear it. Don't think that I'm like, this sounds great. It needs mixing for sure. Because all this EQ work, we haven't gone back to the mixer really, so. All right, now we're EQing this clap. You could have the first breakdown clear and then the second one and third one extra. Yeah, for sure. No, that's a good idea. I didn't get what you were trying to tell me. That's all I was trying to figure out. All right, claps are up here. I could use a little reverb too. Yeah, a little bit dead. Not that much. Damn it. Trying to get that 2 value. There you go. Oh, no. I had it. There it is. Okay. Yeah, just a, maybe not hall setting. That's probably too much too. Yeah. Versus. Yeah. Just give it that little bit of room. Sound. Cool. All right. That sounds pretty good. The fact that you told me I can read the names on the left has cleared my eyes into understanding more of this UI, which looked like jumbled mess before. This is what the fourth dimension is like. Pretty much, yeah. Time. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah, before I started the stream, I did a lot of, you know, just the layout and the picking of the instruments and stuff, because that's the really tedious part that you don't want to sit through that. It's like, oh, that sounds like shit. That sounds like shit. Oh, that sounds good. Like, it's a lot of that going on with that. So. Rim shot could use a little reverb. Come back. Yeah, just that little bit of reverb on there. It's a nice little touch. Paint it with that liquid clear. Alright. Sounded pretty good for mixing in headphones, so I don't have the best reference like I do with my monitors. That's like, I'll definitely probably put this in over there and then listen back to it on my monitors and go, oh god, let's adjust all of these things back. We'll see. And like, no, I can't use my monitors when I'm streaming because then they're just blaring out into the microphone. That's not how this works. So, yeah. Sacrifices. Stream sacrifice. Although I could just mute my mic and then have, but that, no, we're not doing that. All miracles require sacrifice. Mic muting in this Christian neighborhood? I don't think so. I'll hit the button. Alright, so just with those extra little reverbs added on, we've already made the drums sound a lot more natural, a lot less drum machine-y. Reverb is your best friend when it comes to that. But subtle reverb is the key. You don't ever want to have 100% dry wet. That's pretty much, or 100% wet on the dry wet. And that's, if you're wondering, that's this knob right here. It's basically like the amount of the effect that is applied to the sample. So like, it's kind of like opacity with images. Like, you know, you can see through it and see the source, or you see it with the said filter on it. So like 100% wet is just all of the filter on it, you know. It's basically the same thing with audio as it is. But there's all these other different parameters that you can do: the size of the room, the decay of the reverb, the dampening of the reverb. It's like how quickly it goes away. Yeah, you normally just want to have that dry wet, just barely noticeable. We'll solo just the snare just to hear that. Oh, he coming. Yeah. Yeah, see, like, really, it just gets ridiculous when you turn it up all there. You don't want to do that. Especially this medium room is going to have a small area, so it's going to go like, it's going to go really quick. Whereas hall is like, you're sending the thing down the hall and it's taking a long time to echo. So that's how you get the huge hits. That's where it sounds like you're like listening to a concert, you know, just like a stadium concert with the drummer just like, just get that huge room reverb. That's it might be it might be concert hall instead of hallway. And there's a large hall, medium room. Yeah, so we don't want that. We just want just a little bit. Actually, I don't. Reverb that cymbal. It's always so funny to me that like it defaults to 100, so it's like, oh god, like you just have to like immediately go and turn it down. Hi-hats get tricky with reverb. Sometimes that like clutters it up really quick. We'll try it though. It's always, you can always hit the undo button. That's always that. Yeah, it just gives it that little bit. Yeah, drum machine. Drums. Okay, or cymbals. I feel like one day you're going to have to make an Elmo theme song. Alright, so at first, when I first read it, I was like, what? And then I was like, oh yeah, Elmo. Like, I immediately, like, just in that quick little second, I was like, oh yeah, Elmo the cat. I need to hit up Peach and Pat and see if they want one. Peach said she wanted something. I just need to talk to her some more. Hey man, Undo didn't exist in the 1300s. Real man music. I actually saw Diplo uploaded or it's like his ad on YouTube or whatever for his music class. But But it makes me sad because he stole it from a meme that's been around for a long time. I was like, I thought using loops was cheating, so I created my own drums, or like my own drum sequences. And it was like, then I thought using drum samples was cheating, so I made my own drums. And then, you know, you just go farther down and get like really ridiculous with it. It's like, then I thought using pre-made drumsticks was cheating, so I grew my own trees and chopped my own drumsticks and shit. He did a good job with it. It's funny. It's just he like bit the joke. So yeah, whatever. It's true though. Like a lot of people in the music scene will be like, "Oh, you're using this and that. That's cheating." It's like, aren't we all cheating in some form or another? It's like if you really want to like nitpick, it's like all that's you're using pre-built sample banks and presets and stuff. It's like, who gives a shit, man? It's, you know, if at the end of the day you're creating something that sounds good and you're not like directly ripping off someone else's music, you're good. Back to that hi-hat. Alright. Let's get this. Our mixer has grown. We've added a lot of new tracks, so we'll have this screen up here for a sec. Just all right, we'll take a look at all of it. And actually, I can just probably maximize that. And what we'll do is we'll just minimize all of this. Just let it play. Mixer expand. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to take out the piano at one point and drop it just to that. Let me see. I like the way that sounded. All right, so maybe on the second one. All right, I got an idea. So we can do, we'll do both, or no, we'll do just the piano. We'll do just the piano, just the synth, and then we'll do both. So oh boy. Alt tabbing made it freak. That's funny. Alt tabbing made it freak out. Oh no. Alright, I need to save. Jesus, that's what I need to do. Alright. It's getting a little too heated. Let me see, is my computer overheating? No. It's just not liking the alt tab. That's it was like, no, you're trying to switch windows and active and stream and capture all this at once and produce music with all this shit. Nah, son, you're crazy. You got the mixer full view. What are you doing? It's too much asking of me. All right, what did I want to do? I wanted to do something. God, this rack is huge now. Hey, want to see something really cool? We can switch this around and see the back. And look at all this. It's just a big old mess. Yeah. That's what people used to have to do. That's nuts. People had to, like, actually put all this together. Where is it all going? It's neat. This rack is huge. Yeah, it is. Look at it. It's like taking up my whole. It's taking up the whole screen. Like, literally. It's all the way down here now. And like, if you look at this, like old studio gear, like the old compressors and the inputs and the mixers, like they would have them in racks like this, where they would stack them in little modular cases that you would, have all of these. And that's why I like Reason. It's like, it's a bunch of hardware based virtual instruments. So if you're familiar with any of that, and even if you aren't, it's a good way to learn that type of stuff, like ADSR and, just filters and LFOs. It's like, what's all this mean? You can kind of just explore the idea by just moving the switch and hitting undo afterwards, and just be like, oh, okay, it sounds more like the attack of the sound's happening a certain way or something. So, all right, let's see. All right, I need to find. That's what I'm doing. I need to find the sequencer. Yeah, we'll bring that up. And then that'll tell us where this piano is, because I wanted to adjust the piano some. We'll learn these hotkeys real quick. We got mixer, rack, sequencer. Okay. That's pretty easy. No, stop it, computer. What are you doing? It doesn't like the full mixer. That's it, because it's having to draw all these things at once, and it's doing that in the background. It's not minimized or anything, so that's what's happening. No. Reason, stop being silly. All right, let's give it what it wants then. Let's bring it back a little bit. Let's bring it back to normal. So minimize this, and we'll bring up this. Cool. Yeah, that's a cool switch up to just go to the saw wave right there. Nope. Let's see. Have you ever found yourself in the past to like need a break from hearing the same beat for too long, or is the passion for it to make you immune to that? Oh, yeah. Especially with original stuff too. Like the remixes and stuff, they're familiar, so it's like they're already in your head or whatever, but yeah, long stretches you'll definitely need to just take a break and come back to it, but it depends on, how interested you are in completing the project that day, and if you're in a rush and have a deadline, somebody else needs it for something, or uh yeah, but I could definitely sit here. I probably have a higher tolerance than most of like hearing the same thing over and over, just like the same bar, and that's a big part of it. That's what I was saying. I was like, I don't really want to master it on here because that's gonna be the really just like you guys probably won't notice as much difference, and it's just like at least this stuff we're hearing physical changes and everything. So I think if you go back at the beginning of the stream and listen to the version that was there, this sounds a lot cleaner and a lot better produced and stuff. So, but it is straining my computer right now to keep this thing going for some reason. Let's get the mixer back up. No, that's what we were doing. We were adding reverb on him. Okay. Alright, that actually sounds pretty good where I've got it. Let's see. You once made a simple Octavia beat in Warframe and that got stuck in my head forever. Musicians must have a jump of previous music in their head. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially when you're trying to like write something too and like figure out a new part to add in. Like, let me do a solo on top of this. Like you're listening to that same bit for a long time, and just sometimes it pours right out and you get it on a first take. But yeah, like VGM3, I'd probably spent. I have no idea, but I know it was easily over 200 hours on it. Like just writing and producing it and mixing it and mastering. That's probably like a short number too, like to consider all the songs and all the time. Like, yeah, it's a lot, a lot of time. And then you put it out on Twitter, and Twitter goes, "This is a link. I'm not going to show it to anybody." And then it gets sucked up in the algorithm, and it's gone. And then you're like, "I'm glad I put all that work into that." Albums are fun. It's just a lot of work. Alright, so we're going to see how these two play together later in the song when they both play. Sweet. That's sounding good. I like where that's at right now. Unmastered, that's not too bad for a little mixing it down here on the stream with pressure and with not walking away from it. Yeah, all right. So I will say to close out the stream that when you're doing this type of stuff, it is good to take breaks. And that's something I didn't do. So do as I say. not as I do, because my ears are probably going to be ringing for a little bit. And I don't have it like super blasting in here or anything. That's you want to produce stuff at a low volume for the most part, like while you're listening to the same stuff, because you get something called ear fatigue that is very real, and you start to like your ears start to tune out some of the mid frequencies, and everything starts to get so like, yeah, I'm not gonna do a final mix on this because my ears are done right now. Like I can hear it. Actually, yeah. Ugh. Take these headphones off. I hate wearing headphones too. But yeah, the whole thing with that is just, you just want to take breaks and just give your ears a rest. I'm sure when you've gone to any type of hair. When you go to any type of like concert afterwards, and you're exposed to really loud music for a long time, your ears are ringing. It's tinnitus showing up. But you definitely want to respect your ears, and if you're at a really loud show and it's like, if it's hurting your ears, try to get some earplugs in, because if it's hurting, then you're damaging your hearing. And these things are important. You want to hear so you can come in here and hear the good stuff and the bad. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it right here. This is a good place to stop. We'll give it one last little go around. And, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'll probably upload this up to YouTube. Put some respect on those earses, for sure. Definitely respect the earses. Yeah, I'll upload this to YouTube and it'll be over there. So if you missed a part and you want to go, wait, what was he talking about? That one random tangent that he went on, you'll be able to see it there. And that one guy that doesn't want streams on the channel, sorry. Thanks for watching though. I'll have this up, I don't know, probably if I get the time to work on it some more, I can probably crank this out, the next day or two. But sometimes you get into that fact of like rushing, and then you listen to it later and you're like, I wish I would have worked on that a little more. So no mix is perfect, so just try to get it sounding as good as you can using what you got. And Rensoma, thank you so much for hanging out. Even though you were quiet, that's fine. You came and you participated. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for the fun, meme-tastic, and informative stream. Hey, thanks for sticking around. You were here from like the beginning, both of you. So thanks for sticking around. I don't even know how long that was, but yeah. Yeah, I'll have this on my YouTube. I've got links down below in the different sections. Let me switch this off. Yeah, we've got this. Well, no, yeah, we're gonna do one more go. We'll let it play. But from here, you can follow me. I got all my social stuff down below, and all my links. And yeah, this will probably be up in the week. I'm feeling pretty Toejam and Early lately, so definitely check out the new game that's coming out. I'm excited for that, March 1st. And shout out to Toejam and Earl for retweeting this stream. Appreciate it. Thanks, Greg. Greg's the OG. But yeah, speaking of Greg, here comes the work in progress version of Big Earl Bump. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Goodbye, Sourlees. Fingers. I'm out of here.